awareness, it is impossible to elevate one's thinking. Without elevated thinking, consciousness cannot transform. Without transformation of consciousness, the non-material structure of life cannot change. If the non-material structure of life remains unchanged, one remains human, and humans cannot enter heaven. Only when one attains the consciousness of a celestial or a Buddha can they transcend. Dream more and reflect on where your dreams take you. In time, you will come to understand the true locations of heaven and hell. 浅谈意志及其与意识结构能量的关系. A brief discussion on willpower and its connection with consciousness, structure, and energy. Jiefeng, December 17, 2007. The term willpower, yizhi, consists of two components, yi, which signifies aspiration or desire, and zhi, which represents the mental and psychological state required to fulfill that aspiration. For instance, the desire to eat a ginseng fruit is yi. The determination and mental state to find ways to obtain and eat the fruit is zhi. Together, they form willpower, a mental and psychological state that arises from a desire and persists to achieve it. Willpower is akin to potential energy, stored and ready to be released. It transforms into kinetic energy when expressed through actions like speech, behavior, prayer, or visualization. This is much like a reservoir, where willpower acts as the stored energy waiting to flow. When water cascades down from a height to drive a generator's turbines or flows out through a spillway, it transforms into kinetic energy. The magnitude of this energy is proportional to the reservoir's capacity and the height difference that creates hydraulic pressure. Everyone possesses willpower, but its strength varies. Some have strong and resilient willpower, while others have weak willpower. The strength of willpower depends on one's consciousness. The more ordered and lucid one's consciousness, the stronger the willpower. Conversely, chaotic and confused consciousness results in weaker willpower. For instance, the desire to reach the celestial islands continent of the Elysium world is merely yi. The unwavering determination to get there, no matter the circumstances, is zhi. Sustaining this resolute mental state constitutes willpower. However, the persistence of this willpower depends on its strength. If our consciousness comprehensively understands the mysteries of the universe, time, space, and life, and if we have a profound recognition of life's value and meaning, then our consciousness is ordered and clear. This clarity allows us to discern what to do and what not to do, what to think and what to avoid thinking. In such a state, our willpower to reach the celestial islands continent becomes unyielding. Regardless of the obstacles or hardships we encounter, our resolve remains steadfast. This is the hallmark of resilient willpower. In contrast, if we lack understanding of the universe, time, space, life, or the principles of life's evolution, our consciousness will inevitably be chaotic and disordered. We lose sight of life's value and purpose, unable to determine what we should think or do. In this state, we are like a headless fly, aimlessly stumbling through life, achieving little. Thus, our consciousness becomes bewildered, and our willpower to reach the celestial islands continent is weak. While we might sustain our willpower under favorable conditions, any disruption or hardship can cause it to collapse or even collapse entirely. Consider Life Changyuan as an example. Some Changyuan celestials have, since joining, consistently maintained their aspiration to reach the celestial islands continent. Regardless of changes within Life Changyuan or external attacks, they remain steadfast. This demonstrates their resilient willpower, akin to a vast reservoir of abundant energy. Their consciousness is ordered and lucid, making their willpower unshakable by any force. Even in the face of an atomic explosion beside them, they would remain calm and resolute. Conversely, other Changyuan celestials, instead of contemplating the mysteries of time, space, and life or reflecting on life's value and purpose, spend their time observing, testing, gauging trends, seeking supernatural powers and mystical arts, or showcasing their abilities. As a result, when they encounter setbacks or challenges, they abandon their original aspirations. Some go further, using any opportunity to slander Life Genuine to justify their departure. They seek validation by rallying others to criticize it, believing that the more people attack Life Genuine, the more correct they appear. In truth, this behavior is driven by vanity and reflects weak willpower. Willpower is a form of energy, potential energy. However, this energy remains intangible until it is acted upon, transforming into tangible kinetic energy. The strength of willpower depends on the order and clarity of consciousness. Willpower itself is not a structure and cannot alter structures. A peony flower remains a peony no matter how much water or fertilizer it gets. Its structure doesn't change. Similarly, a person's life structure isn't altered by the strength of their willpower alone. Only a transformation in consciousness can alter the non-material structure of life. Willpower is essential for transformation and reaching our goals. Like a ship, no matter how advanced, it cannot leave the harbor without propulsion. Willpower is the force that drives us through challenges toward our destination. 恨会毁灭自己. Hatred will destroy oneself. Dayform Buddha. October 10, 2006. First, let me declare that I am selfish. I lack virtue and care only about how I can ascend to the heavenly kingdom. Everything else is governed and arranged by the Tao, and I have no interest in concerning myself with it. Because I am selfish, I strive to accumulate merits and treasures in the heavenly kingdom. By doing so, I can enjoy the ultimate bliss of life in heaven, establishing the era of Life Genuine for humanity, inspiring people to revere the greatest creator, life and nature, and walking in the way of the greatest creator will earn me the creator's favor. Nature will nurture me, and all life will care for me. This is life's greatest transaction, exchanging a finite existence for infinite life and unparalleled returns. Such a deal is not one I would ever pass up. Because I am selfish, I honor my parents, care for my siblings, raise my children conscientiously, and repay all debts. I strive to live a life without regrets so I can transcend the human world and no longer reincarnate. All debts must be repaid, whether they are owed to nature, parents, children, spouses, friends, neighbors, or strangers. As long as debts remain unpaid in the human world, I cannot ascend to the heavenly kingdom and will be forced to reincarnate to repay them. Because I am selfish, I aim to burn as brightly as I can. Even if I must eat dry grass, I wish to produce milk. Even if I must drink dirty water, I aspire to exude the fragrance of wine. This is not for the sake of others but to ensure my own inner peace. By doing so, regardless of my circumstances, my heart remains calm, free from fear and anxiety. Because I am selfish, I avoid harming animals or destroying their habitats. To harm them is to sow the seeds of disaster. Benefiting at their expense creates a debt. I do not wish to owe animals and risk being reborn into their realm to repay that debt. Because I am selfish, I seek to collect the gems of the human world, the Chanyuan celestials. They are treasures, and I wish to bring them to the heavenly kingdom. With their presence, my life environment becomes beautiful, and I can enjoy boundless joy. Do not think I serve others. Everything I do is ultimately for my own benefit. Because I am selfish, I no longer harbor hatred toward anyone. One day, while standing before a mirror, I noticed that when I was happy, my reflection appeared beautiful. When I was filled with hatred, however, the reflection became ugly and repulsive. Celestials in the heavenly kingdom are all beautiful. If I am ugly, there will be no place for me in heaven. Outward ugliness mirrors inner flaws, reflecting the non-material imperfections of one's life structure. Therefore, I resolutely reject hatred. If my life is filled with hardships, if I am deceived or bullied, it is not the fault of others but the result of my life trajectory, my destiny. I do not seek revenge, bear grudges, or blame others. This is not out of consideration for others but to preserve the perfection of my own life structure. To harbor hatred is to destroy oneself. Because I am selfish, I choose to love others. Love is inexhaustible. It does not create debts. Rather, it makes others indebted to me. Debts owed to me must eventually be repaid. While I strive not to owe anyone, I aim to have others owe me. In doing so, my life space expands and grows more beautiful. The more lives owe me, the more glorious and harmonious my existence becomes. The wisdom of the greatest creator lies here. All life in the universe is indebted to him, and thus all follow him alone. Because I am selfish, I no longer form bonds with worldly mortals. The suffering of worldly people is endless, and connecting with them means inheriting their boundless pain. Life is fleeting, so I choose to associate with sages and form connections with bodhisattvas, angels, celestials, and Buddhas. When they ascend to the heavenly kingdom, our bonds will guide me there as well. Because I am selfish, I work diligently. Why? Because life is impermanent, and its final station can arrive at any moment. By preparing everything in advance, I can step into my next life journey without regret, avoiding the sorrow of looking back and turning into a pillar of salt, tormented by regret for millennia. I do not blame anyone for harming me, wasting my youth, or causing me to endure hardships. If life was bitter, it was my own doing and I deserved it. I never claim to do anything for others, not for your good. No, everything I do is for myself. I love you but not for your sake, it is for mine. I help you but not for your sake, it is for me. I dedicate myself to you but not for your sake, it is to fulfill my own purpose. Do not call me noble. Do not praise me for being selfless or contributing to humanity. Do not claim that I have sacrificed for my nation, ethnicity, society, family, or others. I have not and I will not. Everything I do is for myself because I am selfish. 莫把真情当粪土. Do not treat true feelings as dirt. 街坊. I have traveled through 36-dimensional spaces, explored 20 parallel worlds, and discovered a profound truth. The more a place cherishes true feelings, the closer it is to heaven. The more devoid of compassion and integrity, the nearer it is to hell. Where true feelings abound, harmony and blessings prevail. Where true feelings are absent, suffering is unbearable. When people abandon true feelings, they forfeit heaven. When people regard true feelings as dirt, they become demons and monsters. True feelings are priceless treasures of the heavenly kingdom. Without true feelings, what are you? Flowers exude fragrance because they have feelings. Humans shine with brilliance because they have feelings. Gods and Buddhas save sentient beings because they have feelings. Demons, devoid of feelings, spread disaster. People, when you abandon true feelings, you make it nearly impossible to enter heaven. The gates of heaven will never open for the heartless. Are you cultivating the path? What exactly are you cultivating? Who brews the bitter wine of life? Who causes conflicts and disputes? Who sows the seeds of suffering? Who turns away from the greatest creator? It is those who are devoid of compassion and loyalty. Without true feelings, what remains? What remains is calculation and the weighing of benefits. What remains is indifference and deceit. What remains is selfishness and greed. What remains is an ugly soul. What warms the human heart is not wisdom, but true feelings. What brings joy and delight is not knowledge, but true feelings. If a master lacks compassion, he brings not blessings but the call of demons. If a practitioner lacks compassion, he cannot become a celestial but will instead become a spawn of devils. False emotions and sweet words, these are the tricks of demons. Cold-hearted betrayals and cunning schemes, these are the deeds of monsters. If God were devoid of compassion, he would not be God. If Buddha were devoid of compassion, he would not be Buddha. If an angel lacked compassion, they would not be an angel. If a bodhisattva lacked compassion, they would not be a bodhisattva. Lively and vibrant beings are those with feelings. Dull and lifeless beings are those without feelings. If you study Buddhism but lack compassion, you are studying demonic ways. If you aspire to immortality but lack compassion, you are walking the path of ghosts. No matter how many extraordinary beings appear in the world, they must first move others with compassion. Heartless teachings are poisonous broths that lead to hell. A heart devoid of compassion is like the venom of a snake. Even if Jesus returns, he will shower true feelings upon the world. Even if Maitreya descends, he will warm hearts with true feelings. True feelings surpass wisdom and extraordinary powers. True feelings surpass fame and all teachings. When people treat true feelings as dirt, no matter what path you follow, no matter what supreme saint of the universe you encounter, you have already gone astray. You have already turned your back on the greatest creator. Your future will be shrouded in darkness. 现身说法话人生 Sharing life's wisdom through personal experience. Jiefeng. August 21, 2007. Life presents us with 84,000 paths, each leading to unique experiences and perspectives. While everyone strives to live their best life, the ways we live and the feelings we experience vary greatly. Life itself is a complex topic. Regardless, everyone hopes and works to live a life that is wealthier, freer, healthier, more exciting and meaningful. A life full of joy, promise, and potential. Only those who deeply contemplate life and diligently strive for a better existence can truly understand its essence. They come to realize that the teachings of Jesus and Buddha are invaluable treasures, and they gain profound insights into the wisdom of the sages throughout history. Thanks to the grace of the greatest creator and the teachings of Jesus Christ and Buddha Sakyamuni, my life has entered a miraculous realm. Nowadays, I live like a celestial being. I don't worry about food, clothing, shelter, or transportation. I have no anxieties about life's many concerns. My body is healthy, my mind serene, and my heart filled with joy. I live in an environment of perennial beauty, surrounded by blooming flowers and chirping birds. My life is free from worldly distractions and pressures. I sleep and wake as I please. Every day feels like a weekend, every moment like a holiday. At my age, few can achieve this state of life and being. This blissful life didn't appear out of nowhere. It is the result of divine enlightenment, the guidance of Christ and Buddha, and my own diligent efforts. In other words, it is the outcome of adhering to a correct view of life and life. I often reflect on my childhood friends, classmates, siblings, colleagues, and acquaintances. Comparing our paths, I find that I live the happiest life. This difference stems from the distinct life paths we chose, guided by our differing outlooks on life and values. For instance, I loved studying and reading from a young age. Exaggeratedly speaking, there wasn't a single day I didn't read. I believed in the saying, "In books there is a house of gold. In books there are beauties like jade." Meanwhile, many childhood friends preferred playing or farming over reading. Initially, we all stood at the same starting line, but over time our paths diverged. When they realized how far behind they had fallen, it was too late to catch up. Whenever I visit my hometown and meet old friends, their feelings of inferiority become evident. To them I seem extraordinary. My siblings also hold me in high regard, treating me more like an esteemed guest than a family member. I often inquire about my middle school classmates' lives. Of the nearly 50 students in my class, over half have left the countryside to find jobs, earning government salaries. Yet, when I compare my life to theirs, I do not envy any of them. On the contrary, they envy my lifestyle, and I can sense their relative self-consciousness when we meet. To them, I am not just an ordinary person. Comparing myself to my technical school, college, and university classmates, few, if any, have surpassed me. While they focus solely on immediate gains, I looked ahead to 5 or 10 years down the line. For example, even before my child was born, I was already planning for his education in the United States, a foresight my peers could hardly match. Take one close friend from middle school as an example. When choosing schools, I aimed for the one farthest from home, while he opted for the nearest. As a result, I went from Gansu to Zhangjiakou, while he attended a local teacher training school. 30 years later, I am still energetic and thriving, while he appears much older and worn. My colleagues too rarely compare to me. Most are content with the status quo, hesitant to step outside their comfort zones. They cling to the security of stable jobs, and cannot fathom leaving to explore new opportunities. When I decided to leave my job and venture out on my own, they cautioned me. What if you lose your income? What if you have no house? What if you get sick? What if you have nowhere to turn? Today, the problems they worried about are all resolved for me, while they are now grappling with their own what-ifs. My friends are doing well, with the best 6 being department heads. They have solved problems like housing, cars, wives, children, parents, and money better than those around them, earning the respect of their peers. However, they are cogs in a machine while I am the machine itself. I make all my decisions based on my own will, whereas they can only be good cogs in the machine. This is the difference in our mindsets. They still work the 8 to 5 grind while I do what I want when I want. My friends in business are now wealthier than I am. For the past 5 or 6 years, I have been accumulating spiritual and soul wealth, while they have been accumulating material wealth, making it hard for me to compare with them materially. Nevertheless, they will never surpass me in life's ultimate meaning. During a recent gathering after my trip back home, I noticed their overwhelming frustrations despite their immense wealth. Each of them is a multimillionaire, yet they remain troubled, worrying incessantly about business losses, currency devaluation, audits, and disputes with unions over employee issues.